Well, it's been a fantastic month for our investments. And when added to some critical changes that we've made, it really brings us several steps closer to early retirement. Stay tuned for all the figures. Hi everyone, I'm Rob, and together with my wife Carenza, on this channel, we document our journey towards early retirement in our 50s on low wages by making key tactical decisions in regards to investments, tax, and spending. It's the start of a new month, so it's time for our monthly retirement tracker update. You'll be finding out how we've done in the past month, where any gains were, and if there were any losses. You will see our numbers for our pension and other savings, along with all our other financial figures that help us in the journey for early retirement in our 50s. Okay, straight on to our retirement spending budget that we're forecasting to do each month. These figures are all the same as last month, except for one item: the gas and electricity costs. These have been lowered from £125 per month down to £100 per month, in line with what we talked about in the video I released a few days ago regarding downsizing. So these are our estimated energy costs for a smaller house. Also in that video, we said that council tax would be cut, hopefully down to a band D. So we'll leave it the same in this part, but add the downsizing calculator in the second part. Now, onto all the input variables, and we see how they've changed from last month. The house price remains the same at £313,663. This gets updated about every quarter. The mortgage remaining has gone down by 1 month's repayment, so that's now £90,179. The buying and selling cost for downsizing is the same. Now on to what we used to call the months remaining until state pension age. And after an excellent suggestion from a viewer, this has now been changed to a date of birth entry, as it's easier to know. Now we realised we had made a slight problem. For the whole time we'd been calculating the retirement finances, I made a mistake. I was 1 month out. The date on here is now correct as the 1st of May 1973. This is an average between my wife and myself, as we're just a couple of months apart. Now, onto our savings and investments. I've already said in last month's update that we have some workplace share save options that we've been saving into for several years. These will mature very soon, so are included in the figures here. I've also said that they have already risen quite a bit over the years that we've been saving. And this last month was another great month for that, and has helped push our savings and investments up to £40,642. That's a big rise of nearly £3,000. Now, not all that was due to just this increase in the share options. Part of it was also due to our next item on the list. It's our debt. This has gone up slightly from £26,603 last month up to £27,077 this month. This was due to me doing what might be my final 0% stews. I used this opportunity to increase the debt slightly, so that's what the difference is here. Now on to the big pension number update. This is our total value of our workplace pensions and our SIPs. We have already said that we have quite a lower risk type of investments at the moment. It may change in the future, but that's the way it is for now. And this last month has not been a great month for the stock markets. They seem very jittery at the moment. One day they're up and the next day they're down. So we're really surprised to see that our total pension investments have gone up from £140,481 to £143,547. That's an increase of just over £3,000. Now, considering that we only put in £1,220 a month into our pensions, that's a tidy increase for just a month. The next few lines are the same, other than our reduced monthly outgoings due to factoring the lower energy use in retirement with the smaller, more energy efficient house. The next part we come to is the pension ages. So the state pension remains the same for now, so no shocking changes yet from the government. And the normal minimum pension age for us remains the same for us at 57. Then on to our target retirement age. For us, that has been lowered now, down from 58 to 57. We stated in our video released a few days ago that we're now firmly focused on retiring at 57 by downsizing and releasing the equity. This has to be now reflected in this new figure entered here. We now realise that it's just over 4 years away. Not long, really. In fact, we have exactly 50 more months to work. Then that's it. Finito. The light at the end of the tunnel has gone from a distant glimmer to something a bit brighter, just by locking in that decision to downsize. Just hope that there's not a big train coming towards us. Next on the list is the data we have to enter for our growth and inflation. We keep these at 0 for both of us, just to still be on the cautious side of things, so that we only need the growth to match the inflation. The 25% tax-free cash decision stays the same, in that we want to withdraw this at the start of our early retirement. Then on to the downsizing part. The tick box is now selected as we want to calculate the lower council tax band. This we've entered as a band D, which is down from our current band F, which should give us a saving of about £108 per month. So that's all the data entered. Now let's see how this affects everything in our new plan to retire at 57. Firstly, the total value of all our pensions, we've already stated that it now stands at £143,547. We mentioned this earlier, and it's an increase from last month of £3,066. We're really happy with this figure, considering how jittery the stock markets have been. This figure is when you remove the £1,220 a month contributions that we make. It's a magnificent 1.3% increase in just 1 month. So that's not bad for our safer style portfolio. So our 25% tax-free amount that we could have in retirement based on our current pension pot is now up to £35,887. And the net value after this is taken out is now £107,660. On to our years to go until state pension. Even though this shows it down by a month from the previous month, as it would be normally the case, if you look back at last month's video, it's the same figure. This is due to our error that I discussed earlier in working out our months to go until state pension age. So this is now correct at 14.17 years. Now onto our retirement planning for the years between the NMPA and the state pension age. So for us, that's the years 57 to 67. Now, this works out really well for us because we're focusing in on the retirement age of 57 now. Our annual drawdown income from the net value of the pensions is £10,766. This is up £230 from last month, just due to that decent increase in our pension pots. Our old frozen defined benefit pensions are the same at £1,725 a year. And there's no side hustle or part-time work that we forecast to have in retirement. So this gives us a total annual income from pensions and everything of £12,491 a year. So that is just £6,077 per year short, which equates to £60,767 short over the 10 years. This has fallen a whopping £5,300 in just 1 month, and is due to two factors. So first, the decent rise in the pension pots, and second, the lowering of our monthly outgoings in retirement due to downsizing. So now onto our retirement planning for the years prior to the minimum retirement age. So that's the years from now until we're 57. There's 4.17 years to fund, requiring £77,365 at the new lower monthly spending. Our current savings and investments that are able to fund this are £13,565. That's gone up a massive £2,336 in just 1 month due to the favourable move in the share options. This now gives us a difference compared to requirements of £63,800. So now on to the total difference to be able to retire now. This has dropped an incredible £10,458 in just 1 month, with everything going our way, and the new lower retirement spending budget plan. That really is a monumental shift in just 1 month. Now, onto the maximum home price that we could purchase to retire right now. Our current house equity is, as expected, dropping due to a month's repayment on the mortgage. And so the maximum price we could buy a house for to retire right now has gone up by a massive amount to £88,860. Now we get on to the stats for what is required to retire at our current target retirement age of 57 years old. Our pension pot that is required is £168,427. We don't require any savings as we're not retiring before 57. Our current pension shortfall is £60,767, and our savings surplus is £13,565. This means that we need to make contributions of £1,620 a month. Yet our current pension contributions are just £1,220, so £400 short. How is this possible? We showed just a few days ago that we think we could retire at 57 years old with a comfortable margin, which would make the current pension contributions perfectly adequate until then. So what's the difference? Well, this plan doesn't factor in the money that we release from our equity by downsizing the house, or how we utilize the 25% tax-free cash that we get at the start of retirement from our pension. On the other side of the equation, it also doesn't factor in the money that we would need to have to pay to clear the mortgage, or the money that would need to be set aside for the emergency fund and the one-off retirement bonus fund that I talked about in the last video. So my question is to all of you viewers that are still watching, and I think I've sort of answered this question already myself, but should I make a new spreadsheet to reflect this move in my plans? It would need some new input variables, such as the estimated equity release, the size of the emergency fund required, and an option to pay off the mortgage. I'd probably go just without growth and inflation calculations this time, or certainly in the initial version, as they were a nightmare to calculate on the current spreadsheet. So what do you think? Would you like to see the monthly update include all this data and possibly graphs to go with it? Please comment below with your thoughts. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this monthly update, and I will see you in the next one.